y'all can let me know and we can work through that. So today the topic that I want to cover today is just 10 strategies that are converting right now. And I want to start us out. Oh man, I was trying to do this before Carlin got here because she told me to do something else. But no. So I want to start out with just some with some quick numbers. I want to walk you guys through an exercise just to identify like what do I really need to accomplish whenever I set out to do my lead gen on a weekly basis. And I'm going to do this really quickly, and then we're going to revisit this in the future. But I want you to have this framing. So, I watched the webinar podcast, I suppose, last week, and the team leader, Carlin, I don't know if you ended up watching it, but the team leader, he made a comment, one of the guests, about clarity is speed. And it really resonated with me because I know so many of us, we're on a regular basis, we're like, well, I mean, I'll work, but what do I do? And so I love that, just that intentionality behind when I start my work week, I know exactly what I need to do. I know what I need to, what I'm about and what I'm going to get after to accomplish my goals. So on that note, and in building that number out, I want us to start with just this little chart. So my first number here is your survival number. So your survival number, are y'all still there? Y'all are so
Yes, I'm still here.
Oh, you're still
okay.
Notes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good.
I think it froze just for a quick sec, Mark, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Good deal. So survival number is, what does it cost me to live, to pay my minimums, to stay current on all my bills, but I'm really not getting ahead. I'm not accomplishing anything big picture, right? So I'm not getting behind. Nobody's upset with me. I'm not late on anything, but I'm just not getting ahead with my goals. So I'm going to say $7,000 for this scenario and for my brain. It takes me about $7,000 a month to live. Now I want to think about, what about the life that I want to live, right? To include my retirement and debt relief and vacations in that boat and let's see, what else do we have? Investments, all that good stuff, right? Like I want to get ahead. I want to pay off the credit cards, not just pay the minimums. So let's say on a monthly basis, that'll run me another $3,000. And at $10,000 a month, I am happy. I'm funding my retirement and my passions. I'm certainly paying off my debt and making my payments. So then for the sake of this exercise, I'm going to say that my average commission check is $5,000, right? So that's the check that hits my bank account, not the gross commission, but the actual amount that I realize from a closing. And I know that might feel a little low to you guys, but the math was easy. So based on this math, you guys can see that I calculated out that I need 2 deals a month to hit my my happy number here. Now, if I'm using, these next numbers are going to be different for all of us, but I'll give you some general numbers to follow right now. And then I want to encourage you to just track your numbers, and just identify what your conversions look like. But if I need to close 2 deals, I'm going to say right now, I probably am going to need to have 6 appointments, right? So if I meet with 6 people, some of them are not going to be qualified or have realistic expectations. Some of them are going to be for next year, but I need to meet with them now. I don't want them meeting with someone else if they're going to sell next May. I'm going to go ahead and meet with them. And then some of them are going to be, they're going to pop. They're going to write an offer or put their home on the market or what have you, right? So 1 out of every 6 appointments, I'm going to get a closing out of. So that's where that 12 number comes from with appointments. And then I want to reverse engineer that and say, you know what, I think that it's going to take me about 60 conversations about real estate to equal or translate into 1 closing. So again, these are general numbers. We all have a different number, but use 60 there. 60 conversations about real estate equals a closing. So that's where I got my 120 because I need 2 closings. And then I just take my daily metric here. So And the way that we calculate daily, or that I calculate daily, is there's 5 days a week and there's 4 weeks a month. So that equals 20 days each month, give or take, right? So if I say, okay, I have 20 days in a work days in a month and I need to have 120 conversations, that's a nice 6 conversations a day. So I wanted to provide you guys with that framework. While I know it's basic, I think new agents and 30 years in the business experienced agents, we need to know our numbers, because I truly believe in that comment that, like, clarity is speed. So if I know what I need to tackle, then I know what I can get after on a Monday morning, right? Just to start the process. So that being said, now I want to run into or share some strategies around, okay, I need to talk to 6 people, but what in the heck do I say to them? Who are they? How do I identify those targets? And over the coming months, what we'll be doing, Diane, to your comment about having this opportunity twice a month, is we'll just be working through, hey, what does it look like to work expireds? What does it look like to work for sell by owners? And when I take a listing, how do I get another listing out of that, or at least a buyer out of that? How do I turn that business into more business? So we'll be breaking into all of these strategies. For now, Carlin twisted my arm and said I needed to give you guys the juice. So I'm gonna hit you with some, like I said in the beginning, some strategies that are performing right now, that are getting people under contract, frankly, simply put. So those of you watching the recording, this is going to be thank you, Diane. I appreciate that feedback. I need the constant feedback. So at any rate, what I was getting at is, Chad and Carlin, you guys have seen some of this, and so bear with me here, but you know how this goes. Like, we always need a reminder of the great ideas that we never did anything with, right? So this is 10 strategies to convert leads, or to 10 strategies to get contracts, I could say. And I've broken it up into sphere of influence and past client strategies. So in theory, sphere of influence is people that know, love, and trust me, right? So I don't need to sell myself to these folks. They've already done business, or they know what I'm up to and what I provide. And then I also have my lead follow-ups, right? Because everything we're doing, like I referenced, right? Everything we're doing, it needs to be like geared towards that ultimate outcome of getting a closing. And a lot of people, and I'll just kick off, this wasn't my plan, but I'm just going to share this screen with y'all for the sake of the recording. A lot of folks, this is a Boomtown stat, but the conversion metrics ring true. A lot of folks, when they come into our lives at an open house or a sign call or an online lead, they are months from engaging, right? So if we know that on average it takes 4 to 18 months to convert a lead right now, right? And that's did they walk in my open house and they're ready to sell, versus did they fill out a Zillow form and I need to warm them up for the next 12 months. But nonetheless, I know that I have to have a robust number of follow-up activities and touch points throughout this. So, all right. So the first strategy with that SOI and past client is simply jumping on, and some of these are going to be really basic, but boy, they work. Jumping on Facebook and just looking for the green dots. So I can come here and I can see who's online right now. I better not see one of y'all. No, I'm just joking. So I can go on and see who's online right now. And then I can say, hey, Jama, I hope you're doing well. Listen, with all the news in the market right now, I'm just, a lot of my clients, or a lot of the people I care about, are curious about what that means for their home's value. Would you like for me to run some numbers on, just what it would look like to sell your home? Another strategy, since y'all can handle the green dots concept, is something along these lines, right? So I'm going to look for the green dot, and that's a curator strategy, just a company that we work with. And they say we're just more likely, or we found that we're more likely to get engagement if they happen to be online. I guess they know that we know they're online, and so it feels awkward to ignore you, but nonetheless, something along the lines of, hey, just ran some numbers. It looks like this. Just, I want to be pretty casual with this, but I do want to dangle the carrot out there, right? So this is going to be maybe some past clients in SOI, like I said. I also would potentially include this in somebody I saw at my kid's friend's birthday party and said they were going to move in May, right? Well, yeah, you know what? We're looking to move as soon as Junior gets out of high school. You know, we are not going to need that big house and we're looking forward to it. Well, I want to start incubating that lead, right? And that opportunity. So that's one on the quick here. Let's see. I'm just going to bounce around and give you guys lots of different ideas on this one. Another one, I'll stick with the sphere of influence in past clients. Another one that we're finding a lot of success with is this guy. Let me move this to my big screen. And y'all just take pictures of these as you see fit. Carlin and Chad do have access to them. But if I come up here, let me make this a little bigger here. This I like for my sphere of influence and past clients. I also, again, I like it for anyone that might be on the fence or thinking about selling. But the concept here is, Carlin's joining again, or somebody is with Carlin's name on it. So the idea is, I'm going to meet with someone. I can't tell you anything about their house. And frankly, I don't know if they're going to end up selling, but if they do you want to know about it? Right. And so this might look like, hey, I'm going to meet with someone in Shady Hollow. Right. So I'm going to give a general idea, but I'm not going to say 4-bedroom, 3-bath house, 2,700 square feet on half an acre. Right. Like because I got to stay compliant with the clear cooperation. So I like this again for past clients, for sphere of influence. And I would add something in here if it's like, let's say somebody I sold the house to 4 months ago and another one is in their neighborhood or something, it makes sense for me to send this to them. I might say, hey, look, I know you guys just moved, but maybe this is an opportunity for you to pick your neighbor. So with so few homes on the market right now, or with buyers having to battle it out, I thought I'd give you a sneak peek and an opportunity to choose your neighbor type conversation, right? And then just to follow through, hey, Carlin, did you have something?
No, sorry, I unmuted myself so I can talk.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, nothing special. I unmuted myself so I can interject.
Oh, okay. Just because you're gonna have something to say.
Because I couldn't say earlier because I was muted and I was driving. So now I'm not driving and I can talk.
Okay, all right. So to follow up, you can imagine using this one again, just take a picture, but using this email that would go out to so this is staying compliant with that clear cooperation in the 24-hour guideline, right? But I could, in theory, I could send this email out to all of my online leads, to all my past clients in sphere of influence, and anybody that's on the fence, and then follow up, say, a week or two later with this email, the same house, by the way, right? But it's another touch point. And if I go back to that concept, guys, of I just need to check the boxes, I just need to have those 120 conversations this month, then all of this is geared towards creating a conversation, right? Because whether it's an open house or a Facebook post or knocking on someone's door or calling an expired, I'm just trying to have a conversation so that I can have an appointment, so that I can get a contract, so that I can get a paycheck, right? Like, but it all starts with, I need to avail myself to these conversations, if that makes sense. And I can't really ask y'all, what, Amber, does that make sense? I can ask you. You're the only face I can see. So, okay. Now
it all makes sense. It all makes sense.
Oh,
there's Carlin too.
I'm on video. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. You're like, damn it, he keeps bringing it up. So, another strategy that we're finding to some success with right now is just I'm still sharing that one, aren't I? Is just a good old text. This is, again, past clients, SOI, and then it could be anybody on the fence, but just, hey, happy end of summer. When does school start next week for y'all?
Tuesday.
Yeah. So I would reference back to school. hey, just want to get ahead of the fall. What do you guys have planned? Or do you have any real estate plans through the end of the year? Right. And again, you're just having a conversation where we're just trying to have a conversation, and get something going there. For those of you, hey, Diane, you're the one I don't know. So do you have a lot of online leads, or where do you see your next opportunity for business?
So it's not much online leads. I've been basically, it's all referral. So right now I have 2 people that want to buy, but they are needing to lease because they're needing to improve their credit scores. So for me right now, it's been referrals. I had a goal of 15 transactions for this year. I've only sold 2, and I have another one that's supposed to be closing sometime maybe in October, November, a new build. And then I've had a lease. So it's not my goal at all. I'm not reaching my goal like I should be. And I know a lot of it is because I'm not having more, I'm not doing the work I need to do. I need to do more.
Cool. It's awareness, right? I mean, that's where we have to start, is just kind of that, like, okay, like I need to turn it on. What I have been doing isn't working. It's not producing the results. And so I need to adjust my efforts. So Diane, when we did that exercise earlier, what was your number?
As far as conversations,
Yes, ma'am.
not, gosh, not a lot. I'd have to say maybe daily convo, to be honest, could be 1.
Okay.
And I have had like lots of stuff coming up recently with my home and plumbing and like major plumbing issues, like stuff like that. But yeah, I need to work on that. That's something Carlin's been talking to us about, is like making a time with your schedule and really taking this serious as a 40-hour job, not just letting family like, okay, she doesn't work, can you babysit, or can you do this, or can you do that? So for me, I really need to treat it like a 40-hour job, set my hours and say, I'm sorry, I'm working. And that way I can focus on making sure that I get those daily convos.
Yeah. You know what you'll find is, I had this conversation earlier with a brokerage in Houston, is that structure brings freedom. And it sounds so silly to say, but if I know everything has a place, so that whenever I'm doing my lead gen or my social media marketing plan or whatever that is, and I get that distraction of that, like, oh, Mark, you need to build this landing page, or whatever ridiculous excuse I'm making for me, to not do the lead gen. Then if I can say, you know what, I have a time block, I'll work on my marketing Tuesday at 1 o'clock, and then I can just do a brain dump and just pop it on an Evernote or whatever. Then Tuesday at 1 o'clock, I just open up my calendar or my brain dump, and I say, okay, here's my time block. I'm having my CEO time or my marketing time or what have you, and then I can get the job done. And then what you were referencing, that Carlin and you were talking about, show up for work at the same time every day. It's remarkable what that will do, right? If it's 7:30 to 8, cool, but it's always by 8, or if it has to, because of your life, and I don't know your circumstances, if it has to be at 9 o'clock or 8:30, because of drop-offs or whatever happens in the morning for you, make it, just make it like you were saying, treat it like a job. You'll make more money than you'll ever make at a job.
And I think I'm going to add to that, the struggle for a lot of my agents is that because they work from home, when we had this conversation yesterday, one of the agents is like, I'm going to, as soon as this is out of my life, I'm going to be coming to the office every day because I am so much more productive. But a lot of agents are productive at home and can do it. But then that 8 o'clock, like I'm going to show up at work at 8 o'clock, then that means you're like in front of your computer working at 8 o'clock, or whatever time that is. I think really putting structure and visualizing what that's going to look like and mean to you, and then holding yourself to that will help for sure.
Powerful. I mean, it's all that kind of stuff that the champions, that the top agent in Austin and Texas, et cetera, they're doing all that crap. I mean, they just are, right? I mean, we just know this. So you guys are making me think of Jim Quick, I think, but there's a book called Alter Ego, and it's a gentleman that works with performers, athletes, and basically they have a pre whatever, insert the blank, routine that they do to step into that alter ego, right? To step into that acting role, or that quarterback or whatever, to I'm not a husband and a dad, I'm gonna go be a badass whatever, right? So what I think of in both of those cases is, like, you guys, or as a strategy, Diane, I'll talk to you, lucky you, but have a process that gets you fired up and transitions from making breakfast, walking the dog, doing a load of laundry, getting going in the morning, to now I'm at work, right? And this is absurd, but I'll just tell y'all, like, this is mine.
You put your glasses on
really
and then you're at
funny,
work.
really funny, but these are UV, Blu-ray block, or whatever the things are we're supposed to be using for computers, and I look at computers all day. And I put these on, and I have a little goofy thing that I say to myself to get myself geared up, and then this is what I'm doing. So I know that's like, it makes me want to giggle, right? Like, it's so ridiculous.
I love that though.
But it
Yeah,
works.
that's brilliant.
I
It
mean,
works.
you can't tease like that. We need some ideas, suggestions of what our go phrases should be.
Yeah. So
Go Mark.
No, Mark, no, I won't. But I've seen another strategy in alignment with this. If anybody has little ones, I know somebody around the corner does, at the office, but they use like a goofy hat. So during COVID, when we were all working from home all the time, then there would be I would get a jester hat or a big cowboy hat or whatever the ridiculous, like, silliness of it is. And it's like, don't talk to mama, I'm working. Like, I know I'm here. I know I'm right in front of you. I'm not available. This is my friendly way to tell you to stay away from me, So, but there's something in that framing of, I'm going to step into, well, I'll tell you, Amber, what I need you to do. I need you to get a Superwoman cape, and I need you to do a Superwoman pose before you start work every day and send a picture.
I
I
love
love
it.
that. I could do that.
We need to get one for all of you, and then y'all
Yeah,
can.
Spirit Halloween just opened up around the corner, so
Yes.
That's true. Field trip
So-
on Monday. We'll go to.
So my old coach, Carlin, Sheila, my old coach, she would do that. Like, she would have a Wonder Woman pose, and she laughed about it, but she's like, I make my clients send me their Wonder Woman pose before they get into their lead gen or whatever that thing is that they need to feel powerful. And it's like, all of this we talk about I almost said brainwashing out loud, affirmations and all this other stuff, right? But truly, it's brainwashing, right? We're just trying to get ourselves in a place where we're like, you know what, I can make that 20-second call. And the first 21st might suck, and I might get yelled at, but I'm going to push through, like, because I'm Superman or whatever the case may be.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. I just didn't want to say that out loud. It felt a little awkward.
I
yeah.
really like playing a song, like having a theme song.
Yeah.
And playing that right before you do it. So yeah, that's my.
Go ahead, gangster. Tell us what it is. What's your song?
I need a new one. I don't know. I have to
Oh.
think of one. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I'm really influential with music, and so so my mindset struggles recently have been around, like, well, this was a while ago, but around running, right? And so I would play the Eminem song. What's that one from the movie? I can't think of it. What it's
Lose
called.
Yourself?
I'm singing it in my head right now. Yeah,
Yes, Lose
yeah.
Yourself. So like,
Yeah.
I'm pulling out the kick-ass
Yeah.
thug who's going to survive, everything.
Yeah. That is such a good song. for that right there. That was exactly what I was
yeah.
thinking of. So, and then I think of Office Space. Damn, it feels good to be a gangsta. But that's probably just like growing up in Austin and loving that movie. so
Yes, it was filmed here.
I know, yeah.
It's so great.
So at any rate, so let me get you guys with what Carlin told me I had to give you today, which is just some tangible grab them and take them strategies. So a couple more things, Diane, for you as you're doing open houses. Use these strategies around inviting the people that you already know, that already refer you business, that you know from previous industries, to come by the open house, right? And that might look like a just to tie it all together and get more boxes checked. That could look like a video on Tuesday on Facebook and Instagram saying, hey guys, would love for you to come by the open house, blah, 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 blah. And then jumping on Facebook and using that green dot strategy, sharing my post via Messenger to people that might care. So I'm thinking circle dialing, meaning I'm going out in a radius around that house. And then I'm not targeting, I'm not doing a target or putting money behind attracting the neighbor that I don't know. I'm just reaching out to people that I do know that live in off of Brody Lane in South Austin, or whatever commonality you can make that, right? Or if it has like a dog bath in the laundry room and I know people with big dogs, I'm inviting them, like I'm getting creative. It's just, and with that group of people that I might need to formulate a reason to invite them to this open, I would just say something like, hey Carlin, hope you guys are doing well. Listen, having an open house this weekend at 123 Bluebird Street. We committed to the sellers that we would do everything we could to get as big a crowd as possible there, just to see, to evaluate interest. Could you do me a favor and swing by if you guys are in the area on Saturday? Right? I would love to see you.
I also love adding in, like, if you know them personally, saying, hey, I need your help me spread the word. And when you ask people to help you, they want to help you. And so, like, it's a way to be like, have you heard of anyone who's looking to make a move? Well, if so, tell them about my open house.
Love it.
Yeah.
I would include that in there. Just, hey, feel free to share this video, or do this thing, invite anybody. If they live around the corner, hey, this could be a chance for you to pick your neighbor, So yeah, I definitely love that. Okay, and then quickly here, just to hit you with a couple more, Diane. Let me show you some slides so you can take some pictures, and I'll round this out. So this guy right here is working. This would be a past client and an SOI. This is simply taking a snapshot on my phone when I'm on Zillow and getting that Zestimate number, and then crafting a text along these lines, right? Hey, hey Chad, I was on Zillow earlier today looking for some properties. I thought I'd check out your Zestimate. Your Zillow has your home at this. I have my ideas, would love to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Just gonna dangle that out there. That's a quickie, like a copy paste, pretty quick, where I can fire through 3 to 5 of these every day.
I like that. Yes.
Have y'all, Chad or Carlin, have y'all done this at all with anyone?
Carlin hasn't.
Okay.
But
I saw it a few weeks ago. I think Tom did it on one of his stories or whatever. And I think I brought it up. I love that idea though.
Well, what's it going to take, Amber? I mean, to get them to do things. I mean, that's I'm sure.
That's not what I was trying to do.
I'm teasing. Y'all are all amazing. I'm teasing you.
So here's the thing too, Mark, and you tell me your thoughts on this. There's so much out there, right? That's just one thing, right? We're seeing stuff every day, especially if you follow people online. There's so much. So how do you get through the noise and then just do stuff? He's laughing because Jonas is screaming in the background. I didn't mean that.
He's just like, exactly.
Can you go back to the last page? I was just about to take a picture.
I just have to find it. And then I want to address that comment. All right, there you go.
Yes, that one. Thank you.
You bet.
Okay, got it.
Good. So, so let me now pop over. I'm not smart enough to move screens as I'm already sharing them. So, okay, so then, you know, in answer to that, there's always so many ideas. There's always so many things coming at us. I totally hear you and I agree, and it's annoying. How I would respond to that is identify what boxes need to be checked this week, right? What do I need to accomplish? And then all of those ideas, I can take some of them to bring about this conversation, essentially bring about me coloring in this circle here, right? And when something works, I'm going to do more of it until it doesn't work. And if something doesn't work, I'm going to make sure I give it a fair shake, and then I'm just going to move on, right, to a strategy that maybe would perform better with my people, my market, my geography, you know, all that good stuff, time of the year and all that. But I think it should be as simple as clarity of speed. I just have to figure out how many boxes to check this week, and then I need to check the appropriate boxes in the appropriate sections. And then don't do the other things, because there's a lot of great shiny ideas that aren't in alignment. You know, I look at like tactics and strategies. My strategy might be an open house. My tactic might be one of 20 things, but there's another 50 ideas for open houses that they're just not for me. I'm not going to get to them. They don't resonate with me. It's not whatever, I don't want to do it, whatever the reason is, but I'm going to do these tactics inside of the strategy. And I think that framing is good at, like, I know I'm going to let y'all go, at Summit or at an event, because we have all these booths and, you know, like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. And it's, does this align with my overall strategy? It can still be a great product. It can be really cool, but is it in alignment with my strategy of serving my community and serving my agents? Right.
I love that, because especially, I mean, Carlin probably is on the same wavelength, is, you know, with new agents, you know, when you hear someone's able to do something and it's working for them, right? Then someone else is like, oh, how did you do that? You know, but then the person's not thinking exactly what you just said, is how do I fit this into my strategy? Is it something that will work for me? Just because it worked for someone else, does that resonate, and will it make sense for me?
Right.
Yeah.
And I would caution everyone that you should, like, when you hear the cool shiny penny ideas, make the list, put it on your do board or whatever, so it's always there to add to later, but timing may not be now. And whatever you are committing to doing now, make sure you're doing it consistently for 6 months before you judge whether it's really working or not, and change strategies or change tactics. You know, like, you've got to go deep.
Chad said, like the limo.
Oh, no. Thank you for sharing, but no. I'm kidding. Whatever you want. Do
the
a limo.
limo. Okay.
All
No,
right.
I'm not saying a word about it. I'm not sure where I stand on it. I mean, it is a great idea, and I don't know. Y'all go sell like 50 more houses between now and the end of the year, and then
We can talk about it.
again.
Hey, that's a great idea.
There you go. You want a goal? Here you go.
Yeah, we'll get you some nice rims and everything, Chad. I'll buy the dice. So, okay. All right, guys. Y'all have an amazing week. It's good to see y'all.
Thank you,
Diane, it
Mark.
was lovely
Thank
to
you
talk
so
to
much.
you. All right, bye, guys. See you later.
Bye, Ann.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Diane.
Thank you.